Have you been drinking the same coffee for so long that you can't even taste it anymore? Are you tired of spending $15 on a bag of coffee that you don't even like? Then this coffee show is for you. Welcome to the Bracketology of Coffee, Season 3, Round 2. This season we have 4 coffees from World Market taking on 4 coffees from Target. Let me introduce the competitors. First off, we have the Target brand of Archer Farms. This is Ethiopian Yirgacheffe. You gotta love a coffee name that I have to jump onto Google to find out the pronunciation of, but that's definitely what happened. So their origin is Ethiopia. 10 ounces goes for $5.99. It's a light roast, and they ranked number 4 in my brackets. Going up against the Hawaiian Kona blend from World Market. The origin is Hawaii and Colombia. 12 ounces goes for $8.99. It's a medium roast, and they ranked number 5 in my brackets. I typically don't like these Kona blends because they're typically a very inferior coffee, but the blend is actually Hawaiian coffee and Colombian coffee, and I love Colombian coffee, so that'll be interesting. Also, the Ethiopian Yirgacheffe, I've never tried an Ethiopian coffee, so I'm excited to try that one as well. So let me tell you how this works. I prepare these coffees in a French press. The recipe I use is 1 tablespoon of coffee grounds for every 5 ounces of water. I steep it for 4 minutes. Then I let it cool off for about 3 minutes after that. The competition consists of 2 halves. The first half, I drink the coffees black, fresh out of the French press, and in the second half, I add some cream. Each round, the coffee will get scored out of 100, allowing for a maximum score of 200 points. So, let me get these coffees brewing. I'll be right back. Alright, coffee's done brewing. While it's cooling off, I wanted to mention a few things. First off, the coffee from World Market comes whole bean, whereas the coffee from Target comes already pre-ground. So whole bean is typically the better way to do it if you have access to a good grinder, because you're going to get a fresher cup. Also, the Ethiopian Yirgacheffe, they're organic, which to me means almost nothing. I don't really pay any attention to it. They are a light roast coffee, but the beans, they were a bit darker than I expected them to be. So I don't know how that's going to play into the tasting. If they say they're a light roast, I'm sure they are. It's just that the grounds looked darker than I had expected. So as you can see, I'm coming to you from my camper in Colorado Springs. I'm here all month doing some camping vlogs, doing some of my outdoor show videos, and then obviously my coffee show videos. So I'm loving it so far. The weather has finally settled down. We had really frigid temperatures at the beginning and really strong winds, but now we've got a beautiful sunny day and it's Friday, so let's go ahead and get this thing going. I wanted to mention that I am not a super taster. 25% of the population is thought to be a super taster. I consider myself an average taster. Also, what I'm looking for in coffees is drinkability, something that is smooth and flavorful with a pleasing aftertaste. So, I'll put some coffee tips on the screen for you. The way this works, I drink the coffees twice. First taste, I'm just getting an overview, and the second taste, I'll give them a score. So let's go ahead and get this thing going. This is the Target brand, Ethiopian Yirgacheffe. Yeah, that's delicious. So on the bag it says notes of berries and chocolate with light acidity and body. So maybe a super taster can pick up on those subtle flavors. For me, what I taste is something that's smooth, Delicious, pleasing aftertaste. I really like that coffee. Especially the Archer Farms coffees are priced so reasonably. I think, what was it, $5.99? You can't beat that. So let's go ahead and get a taste on this Hawaiian Kona blend from World Market. Yeah, that one's going to take a little bit of getting used to. Yeah, it's got some complex flavors to it that I can't really distinguish. And the aftertaste, as of right now, it tastes a little funky to me. But on the second taste, it might totally change, which is why I like to do these side by side, and why I like to taste them twice, and why I like to taste them with cream. So let's go ahead and do this Ethiopian Yirgacheffe and give them a score. Man, that coffee is great. I can't really ask for much more. As you know, Dunkin' Donuts won the last season, and Dunkin' Donuts with half and half, to me, in my mind, was the perfect coffee. And this reminds me a little bit of that. If there's anything I would wish for, it would be maybe just a little bit more flavor, but that might come out with the cream. So, man, that's really good. I think I'm going to give them a 93. And now for the Hawaiian Kona blend from World Market. I'm still trying to distinguish that aftertaste. And on that taste, it tastes less funky and more complex. What I was originally tasting was the flavor you typically get from a Folgers or a Maxwell House, but it's definitely not that. The more it sits on my tongue, the more it is just like really complex flavor, which obviously is a positive. So, man, that's a tough one. I'm going to give them a 90. Alright, I'm going to pause the video, add a little bit of half and half, and we'll be back for the second half of this competition. Thanks for watching. Alright, we're back for the second half. I've added some cream. It's going to be the same format where I taste it twice. First time I'm getting an overview, and the second time I'll give them a score. So, let's go ahead and start with the Ethiopian Yirgacheffe. Wow, that is awesome. This is why I love tasting new coffees, because occasionally, you know, I do get the bag that is just totally not drinkable, but when I find a hidden gem like this, it totally makes it worthwhile. So let's go ahead and get an overview on this Hawaiian Kona blend from World Market. That one's delicious as well. I wish I could distinguish what that flavor is. It's very complex. Probably has something to do with it being a blend. The more I drink it, the more I like it. But let's go ahead and get a score on this Ethiopian Yirgacheffe. That is so good with half and half. I apologize for the noise outside. It never fails. They come through and smooth out the roads when I'm doing my videos, but if that's the biggest obstacle I have today, then I've got nothing to complain about. I'm going to give them a 97. Really high score. Alright, let's get a score on this Kona blend from World Market. Man, I like that one as well. That flavor has got me baffled. Woo. This is why I like doing them head to head, is because I love the Ethiopian Yirgacheffe and I love this Hawaiian Kona blend, but here's the thing. I like the Yirgacheffe just a little bit better. And so that's why it's so important to do them head to head versus doing one day and one the next day. So for me, it's not so much about the score per se as it is putting them side by side and saying, look, I love this Kona blend, I just don't love it as much as I love the Yirgacheffe. So that kind of helps me put a score on the board. But I'm going to give that Hawaiian Kona blend a 95 in the second half, which is also a very awesome score. It's really tough when you get two good coffees, especially two surprisingly good coffees, but putting them side by side typically makes it 100 times easier. So let me go ahead and tally these scores, and I'll be back for the results of this competition. So if you haven't checked out my camping vlog that highlights the campground that I'm at right now, you got to check it out. I'll put a link on the screen for you. We get a ton of wildlife cruising around here almost every day, turkeys and deer, and I got some pretty good footage that would be worth checking out. So just wanted to mention that. We are back to determine a winner. First off, we have the Target brand of Archer Farms Organic Ethiopian Yirgacheffe. They scored 93 in the first half, 97 in the second half, for a total of 190. That's a really high score. And they went up against the Hawaiian Kona blend from World Market. They scored 90 in the first half, 95 in the second half, for a total of 185. And I will definitely put my seal of approval on both of these coffees. I highly recommend both of them. But Season 3, Round 2, our winner is the Ethiopian Yirgacheffe. They'll be moving on to the next round. So, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We will see you next time.